Let's go.
On Instagram, a little late here, but finally hopping on here. I'll be on for hopefully just a quick 20 minutes, and then I got to get going here. But I definitely wanted to chat with you all and just give you some cool updates on what's going on. The algorithm, sometimes it's hard to get information out to you guys because we'll post updates, every day, and then some people will be like, hey, we haven't gotten any updates recently and what's going on. But White Dragon is looking fantastic. We're pretty much done with color correcting. You basically have to kind of leave it a little open-ended because you have to add in the opening logos, and then you have to leave you have to take like all the text off that's like through it. Like there's timestamps throughout the film, and those have to be taken off because when you sell it internationally, then you have to, translate those to different languages. So it's pretty much as done as it can be until we sell it, and then they kind of finish it. So, and then the sound mixing and everything's, being worked on right now too. But, that's still, like I said, I think about 5 weeks away from being completely done, where we can really watch it all put together. But I know that Jenna is coming over in about a week, 10 days, and she's going to watch the color corrected version of the film, which will be really cool. I'm very excited to show her that. Maybe Tammy will come over too, and we can watch it together. I'd love to watch it with both of them. But it's looking really, really good. The sound is really awesome. The music's really cool. I think you guys are going to love it. The themes that my dad composed are great. There's just a lot of, because a lot of movies today and a lot of like TV today doesn't have like actual themes to it, sadly. The 80s and 90s were rich with themes, music themes, and this film definitely has a lot of that in it. So I hope you guys will love all that. This project has been a long time coming. We've been working on it directly we've been working on it for about 5 or 6 years, but me and Jason started working on it, when we first met, which now is 13 years ago. I always say 10 years ago because I knew him for 10 years. But now that's like 13 years ago. Gosh. But really, really exciting, guys. And also very, very excited to start Beatdown back up.
Man, Beatdown must be his moneymaker, but yeah, JDF has been going for 3 years, and for 3 years almost, we still haven't gotten Legend of the White Dragon, which prior to his passing was scheduled for a 2023 release date.
Beatdown's been on pause, which seems like forever because of, doing Dying is Easy and now doing White Dragon. White Dragon is just such a huge, just a huge project. There's so many effects and everything, going on with it. Let me try to catch up with your guys' question. Oh, I've been upset or bummed at the wait, but I get it now. This is really a huge deal. Sending no love and support. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It is. It's a really big deal. A lot of people, I just don't think I understand. This isn't like a YouTube video. This is a multi-million-dollar feature film, and there's a lot at stake.
Keep in mind that this is a multi-million-dollar film. And we have to wonder, how did Aaron get $1 million to work on Legend of the White Dragon? He had to pay himself something.
And we have to make sure, Jason's legacy is at stake. We got to make sure we get our money back for our investors and all this sort of stuff. And the movie, it's got to impact people. Will there be a theatrical release or streaming only? We don't know right now. We haven't, there's been interest, but we haven't really
Will there be a theatrical release or streaming only? Now, if this was supposed to be a theatrical release. They did a huge article talking about it's going to be in at least 25 cities across the United States for a theatrical release. And now we're at we don't know. And based on what it looks like in the trailer and the quality, it's not going to be a theatrical release. It's not going to be in every major city. I think it's going to be mostly like a premiere and maybe Texas somewhere, or maybe California, but that's because they pay for it to be there. I don't think you're going to be able to buy tickets. I don't know if it's that type of film.
Fully approached studios yet, so we're streaming only. We don't know.
Keep in mind, he said he hasn't fully approached. So did you halfway approach? Because if you halfway approached him, then that would give more credence to the email that I showed you last stream.
money back for our investors and all this sort of stuff. And the movie, I mean, just, it's kind of impact people. Will there be a theatrical release or streaming only? We don't know right now. We haven't, there's been interest, but we haven't really like fully approached studios yet. So we're just waiting, we're waiting for the film to be completely done. And then, we want to put our best foot forward. But I know our distributor agent has had early conversations, and they're all very excited. And he's had early conversations, I think, with AMC theaters, and there's just a lot of great options. We can't pull that trigger yet until the film is done, because that'll really set us up for the the best level of success.
So their distributor and agent, I think he says it's Falling Forward Films. But I remember last live stream with him and Jenna, and I was like, hey, do you have a distributor? And he was like, no, we don't have a distributor yet. And I'm like, well, what is Falling Forward Films? I guess they're now a distributor agent.
But we haven't approached anyone yet. I know you hear this a lot. Wait,
Wait, I thought you said you haven't fully approached anyone. You said you went fully to anyone? I mean, okay. All right, let me stop being so critical.
But I know our distributor agent has had early conversations, and they're all very excited.
So early conversations would indicate an approach, right? Would that count to you guys as an approach?
Had early conversations, I think, with AMC theaters, and there's just a lot of great options. We can't pull that trigger yet until the film is done, because that'll really set us up for the the best level of success. But we haven't approached anyone yet. I know you hear this a lot. And I'm behind on all the follow-ups. Do you still plan on releasing White Dragon theatrical? Like I said, we're waiting to see. Theatrical will be great, but if a streamer comes in and bids higher, then we will go with them. We want to give it the best possible release. So we're getting there. Is there anything we, the fans, can do at all? Just stay positive, be patient. We all appreciate your patience. We totally understand why you guys are, why some of you can be frustrated or dive deep into weird conspiracies, but it's coming.
Weird conspiracies is me, guys. Weird conspiracies is me. And the Deadline article said, Falling Forward Films will release it exclusively in theaters across the top 25 markets this fall. So you have to wonder, how does it go from releasing in the top 25 markets in the fall to basically, we really don't know. It might release, it might not. Where's he say that? Sorry guys, all these got doggone advertisements. So this was the Deadline article, and this, where is it? Oh gosh, 25, right there. Hey, Scott Kennedy's Falling Forward Films will release it exclusively in theaters across the top 25 markets this fall. So you have to wonder, like, well, how did you go from top 25 markets this fall to not even knowing if it's going to be a theatrical release? That's a great question that, people should ask. Let's get back to it.
And we're doing everything we can to ensure it. Like I said, we all love Jason. Jason was one of my best friends, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure the film is just fantastic for all of you. I mean, that was always the goal, was to have it resonate with you guys. But I appreciate that, Nova. Thank you. You just answered my question. Yeah, I know. It's okay. Aaron, I hope I can grab a poster after seeing the movie. Yeah, well, we're going to have, because right now there are 3 different posters. I think
also the another crazy thing is it's supposed to be in theaters. Like even the Kickstarter had theatrical releases. So when you go by this, you're like, wait, I thought we were supposed to have a theatrical release. Invited to the premiere right here if you donated $1,000. So can you technically have a premiere without, without whatchamacallit? I don't know. I guess you can have a premiere, right? You go, hey, we're gonna premiere it here, and that's just what it is. But this was, make no mistake, this was supposed to be in theaters. So if it's not in theaters, it's automatically, in my opinion, I would consider it a loss. But who am I?
I think we might make a new one for its official announcement, which means there'll be 4, and they'll all be available on our website. I don't know if they're available now. You think I would know that, but I don't. I don't really keep up on that stuff.
Well, who does? Who keeps up on it?
But they're great posters because I have them all. And I'm going to put them all up in our podcast studio because they're great posters. Boss Logic did one, and then Brian Morton, who does a lot of the Star Wars posters, he did another one. And then there's a really other cool internet artist, Mizari, I think. He did another great one, and that one's super cool. Will we be getting another trailer once you secure a deal? Yes, we'll be doing a full big trailer, and that'll have the announcement of who we've partnered with and the release date.
Don't you think by now you should have that full big trailer, considering if you're looking to a September release date, so you only have, 4 months to promo? Like, what reputable place is like, okay, yeah, we'll take it right now. No promotion, no anything. 4 months to promo. And he's about to say it's still 5 weeks out from being complete.
It's all good. We know the wait will be worth it once it's. Thank you, Maddie. I appreciate that. We're working all the time. I mean, it's funny is that, there are some people that get frustrated that the film's not out yet. And I totally get that. But you should see some of because even our team will break down and get frustrated and angry and that it's taking so long and it's pulling our hair out. So no one wants the movie out more than us, but we want it to be great and we want it to be perfect because that'll live forever, and that's Jason's legacy. So we have to make sure that it's perfect. And this is this project he loved more than any. This is the most that resembles him. He put the most into this, so we have to make sure that it is as good as possible. What's the estimated runtime of Legend of the White Dragon? I can tell you it's an hour and a half. Since we are picture locked, it's an hour and a half. That includes credits and everything. So you get in, you get out. It's quick, but man, is there a lot of scenes, a lot of locations, a lot of effects. It is not. It's like we attempt to do something way bigger than just way bigger than we should have ever tried to do, really. Any idea on the next Rare Beatdown? Yes, the next Rare Beatdown is already confirmed, and that's going to be the 90s Batman, the costume of Batman Returns, played by Jason Font. And then we're going to have 90s Shredder from the Ninja Turtle movie battle it out with possible cameos from Catwoman. Maybe a certain Yellow Ranger will portray her. I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
I don't know. People are probably hyped for a beatdown. I don't know. It's been so many years for one, and you're wait till you see how much he's asking for. He's going to conveniently, in my opinion, switch up the pricing.
And then maybe bring John Hennigan back as a badass hockey player. And maybe have a few Turtles guest star on there. After that, we're going to do Predator versus Mandalorian, and then after that, we're going to do RoboCop versus the Terminator, then X-Men versus Mortal Kombat, and then Batman versus Daredevil, with maybe some cameos by Elektra, Ra's al Ghul, and Joker. But we got to hit these goals. If we don't hit these goals, each beatdown has a goal of $50,000, but they have stretch goals that go up to $200,000.
Each beatdown has a $50,000 goal, but they have stretch goals up to $200,000. Now, I don't know about y'all, but where do you see 50,000? Based on the recent poll of YouTube guys, you want us to launch our beatdown for the whole season 5 episodes rather than launching it just for one episode. We will launch this after the total completion of White Dragon and premiere of the film. So we're not asking no money until it premieres. Listed below would be the goals, stretch goals, and the battles. All right. Vote below if you want the Kickstarter as a whole season. Now I'm looking at the goals and budgets, but I just see 200K, 400K, 600K, 800K, $1 million. right? $1 million. So I think the original goal that he set was for 200K, right? Or am I interpreting it wrong? That's what I'm saying. Was the original goal 200K, and then it got out that these beatdowns only cost not too long ago about 25K. If we go back to not there, but right here for beatdown 7 years ago, we're, for the last 4 years, we're 25K. So when they stopped working on beatdowns, they were 25K. Now they've doubled. So you have to wonder, like, well, what's the double up? What's the double bubble for? All right. Let's get back to this guy talking.
So we can, have multiple days shooting. Like usually beatdowns are like 5 days. They're about 5 days, but we can try to curb it, and do 50 smaller. If we do, then you have like a stretch goal of 100, so you get like double it, and then like 150, we can have cameos by all those actors and build the costumes, for Catwoman and the Turtles and the Foot Clan.
I think I'll be surprised if he makes the $50,000 goal if Legend of the White Dragon looks trash.
And then like at the 200,000, 150 would be the top, and then also have a Batmobile in there. So you bring so many things in, and it's the great thing is that the team, we just all love it so much. So we just come in and we quote our lowest rate possible to do this, and then we make it happen. So, because they're all industry people. Like our fight choreographer, he did a lot of on Netflix, like the Luke Cage. He was a fight choreographer from there, and has been in a bunch of different stuff. And then trained with John Wick. A lot of our guys they work in the industry, so they're kind of hard to get sometimes because they're busy. May I ask, where do you guys store all the suits? They're in our studio.
He's about to get asked a tough question in like the next minute.
They're in our studio in the back in storage. That's where all our suits are stored. We should really have them on display, and when we set up our podcast room, we're going to put some of the helmets on display. We're going to put like the Green Ranger helmet on display, which was like the last helmet Jason ever wore and was his favorite helmet, which is pretty cool. And then we're also going to have the White Dragon helmet, which was his favorite costume to wear and his last helmet that he ever wore.
I mean, there is no one walking this earth that speaks more for what Jason liked, what Jason didn't like, than Aaron.
The figs in the movie were fun. Can't wait to see it. Oh, appreciate you, Zilla. We're really happy with them. I love them. I have so many of them. They sent me so many, so they did a great job. Is Hulu or Netflix going to release it? We'll see. Maybe one of them picks it up. I can't say for sure. We haven't approached them yet, so I don't know. I know that they our distributor agent, Falling Forward Films, had early conversations to kind of feel them out, and they seemed excited.
Here we go. Our distributor. Look. Hulu or Netflix, our distributor agent reached out to him and they were excited. Let's keep this in mind because it's going to come back up. I promise you. Because someone's going to be like, hey, what did Netflix or Hulu think of it? He going to be like, oh, we never reached out to him.
I have so many of them. They sent me so many, so they did a great job. Is Hulu or Netflix going to release it? We'll see. Maybe one of them picks it up. I can't say for sure. We haven't approached them yet, so I don't know. I know that they our distributor agent, Falling Forward Films, had early conversations to kind of feel them out, and they seemed excited.
Well, here's the thing. Remember the email I showed you guys? The email kind of is painting a different picture. They're saying, hey, larger services, Netflix, Amazon, Hulu declined outright, ghosted after screening rough materials. Critical feedback cited inconsistent tone, uneven visual quality, and limited mainstream appeal outside the core Power Rangers fandom. The best interest came from the free ad-supported streaming services like Tubi, Pluto, and Freevee, platforms that require little to no threshold for distribution. So this insider is saying, nah, last year they reached out. He's saying, no, we didn't reach out. Who do you believe? That's always the question. Who do you believe?
Will we hear a narrator for Legend of My Dragon trailer? Because I love the narrators. I don't know. I don't put together the trailers. We hire trailer assembling studios. That's what all the big studios do. That's why sometimes movie trailers don't really resemble movies a lot of times. But we'll hire them and they'll put it together. Because that's like a whole art in itself, is making a trailer. Happy May the 4th, Aaron. Oh, thanks, Nick. Yes, 4th of May it is. It'd be cool to see a poster of White Dragon, Dragon Pine put on the same poster, or that would be cool. I mean, in a lot of the posters, in the original Boss Logic one and the Sideshow one, they're both on there because really the film was like a yin and yang. They're both characters are in the film the same amount. White Dragon, of course, is the star, and he's the focal point, the central point of where everything happens. So
the thing is, when you lie, you have to remember the lie that you told previously. You can't say, "Oh, I just misspoke. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I forgot that I said Netflix and Hulu was excited." And someone's going to ask him again. He's like, "Oh, we never reached out to Netflix or Hulu." Like, which one is it, dog?
The film is about him, but in terms of importance to the story or screen time, it's about the same. And both characters really represent Jason in real life. They're both different sides of his personality. So, I think having that, like you said, the yin and the yang is very prominent. Do you plan on doing any more acrobatics going forward with future? Oh, am I going to do any fighting? In all the beatdowns we listen.
This is true. Even if I believed Aaron hasn't reached out to them yet, then why would they wait this long? Color correction? It's probably can take another year for solidifying contracts. Damn, this is true. This is true. You think Netflix is buying movies and releasing them within 4 months?
Nope.
They already have their release schedule likely locked up for the year. Right? It's already locked up for the year. If we buy it, we thinking about 2026.
What's funny is I'm not a big fan of directing and acting. With White Dragon, Jason wanted me to play the villain. Originally he didn't. When we first did our Kickstarter, he was not. Someone was in his ear telling him not to do it. But even then, though, I'm a little gun shy, to maybe not do it. And
dude, I don't see no way Netflix is getting this or Hulu. I believe the email, but hey, believe what y'all want, man.
Not sure, but after doing Joker and you guys loving Joker, I was confident to play Dragon Prime, and I think I did a pretty good job. But it is really hard to direct and act. So.
Well, we saw his acting.
I look forward to not being in any of these beatdowns. Just letting the badass stunt fighters, kind of do it. What's up, Nico? What's going on? What's up, brother? Good seeing you. Appreciate you doing these lives and giving us updates. Of course, I try to communicate as much as possible. Jason was the king at this. He was so good at doing these, and I am not. But I try to facilitate a little bit.
Bro, I swear he used Jason's name as like a buzzword to like diffuse people. Jason this, Jason that, Jason. Take a shot every time he says Jason and you'll be drunk.
When is White Dragon coming out? It'll be out later this year. Some text messages came out. Is it true? What text messages? What? I don't know what that means.
Stop the cap.
You don't know what the text messages mean. Here's the thing, guys. There is some Bat in the Sun stan who watches every video. They used to comment under everyone. That I can't imagine that anything I say about Bat in the Sun does not make it back to him. Now, is Aaron likely watching? Maybe, maybe not. But is someone inside of Aaron Camp or drinking the Aaron Camp Kool-Aid, you don't think they're reporting back to him? Yeah, they're reporting back to him. So this is where it starts getting spicy because someone who is aware is in the chat.
Here, some text messages came out. Is it true? What text messages? What? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, y'all gotta be specific with y'all questions, man. Like very specific. You can't leave any room for interpretation, because even though he suspected the Johnny Young Bosch text messages with him and Jason David Frank, he don't necessarily know what text message is.
The patience was worth it. These things take time. Indeed, we thank you all for what you do and Jay to be proud. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's the goal. And you know, I just want to make him as proud as possible and make the film as good as possible. Are you gonna be able to see it in the UK? Yes, definitely. We want to make sure that everyone can see it worldwide.
So we're talking about an international release. Is it going to be in China?
Nope.
No. You know how I know it's not going to be in China? Because you have to get on that list early. Your film has to be approved, and China can only show so many American films in theater on China. So it definitely won't be in Chinese theaters. I could promise you that.
When is the budget breakdown coming? For which beatdown or for White Dragon? Which I don't know what you're asking. Nova says he's got my money ready for beatdown. I hope I hit these goals. We're gonna do some cool stuff. Robert says I can't wait for Fawn as Batman. He is gonna be so good, so good. Watching him was like crazy. How long do beatdowns take from filming to editing to release? They take about, it depends. Okay, so it depends the complexity of them. Some of them, if they don't require as many effects, they can take 3 months. If they're really big and really crazy, some can take almost up to 6 months.
6 months on a beatdown? Are you serious, man? Really?
Just because of the complexity of them, but 3 to 6 months on average. And we try to shoot, 4 days is really ideal to shoot beatdown because it's really expensive. It's like
4 days. Now make this make sense, right? Make this make sense. Remember the text messages that we had, and it's actually going to come up. He's actually going to quote it word for word. If you work on a film for 20 days, that is 365 days, right? So if you break that down into, let's just say quarters. So for every 5 days, it should be 3 months. He's saying 4 days could be 6 months. And if you look at his leaked text, he's saying 20 days is a year. The math is not mathing, my friends. It's not. But let's continue.
Depending on a lot of things. I mean, a shoot day can cost, about 12. I'm guessing, and don't quote me on these numbers could be wrong, but like about 12 to 15 grand a day, because your location for a day, depending where you're shooting, could be anywhere from like 3 to 7 grand. The mental asylum that we shot at for Nine is Easy, that was 12 grand a day, just for reference. But your location's like 3 to 7 grand a day. You shoot 5 days, that's like on average 20, 25 grand right there.
Why? What the fuck, man? It's 7 grand a day. 7 grand a day, Aaron. $5,000 per, what was it? 7 grand a day for 5 days. That's $35,000, not $25,000. Where is he getting his math from, man? Let's go back. Let's make sure I ain't hear it wrong.
But your location's like 3 to 7 grand a day. You shoot 5 days. That's like on average 20, 25 grand right there.
When I do budget for my organization, we put it at the max. We say, okay, it's 3 to 7. We budget for 7 a day. And then if it comes in lower, we like, hey, we at least know we budgeted for the most amount that it could cost us. Not on average. And then you come in over budget. Now it's a lot of red tape to get more money.
Then you got to pay everyone. everyone gets paid $500 or more a day. It's actually not very high. It's very low. That's to get a cinematographer, a fight choreographer, an AD for $500 a day is really, really, it's a friend deal. So, and then, you're paying your actors and you're probably only paying them $500 a day. And, Font and all those people, they just, normally get paid way more money, like thousands of dollars. But they come and do like a friend rate, you know, because they're all about it. So it just depends. You know, it quickly adds up. But
yeah, remember when Jason said people won't work with him because he's out of favors?
So you want to shoot as least as possible. And then, of course, then you have all the effects, and the effects are not cheap either. Luckily, you know, Bat & Son is a post-production house, so the sound design, the music, the mixing, the editing, directing, you know, we cover all those costs, and we eat a lot of that. We, you know, normally post-production on movies is anywhere between 20 to 50% of the budget.
20 to 50% for post-production? Hell no.
But we eat a lot of those costs. Like, for example, like,
he's about to justify 1.5, guys. Just give it time.
I'm trying to give an example like on a beat. I'm trying to think here. What would be a good one to reference? You know, I guess Batman Vader would be probably the best. Not Batman Vader. Batman Shredder probably the best, because those are the budgets I've been looking at the most. I'll have to pull them up and actually go over them like spec by spec and post it. You know, originally in the beginning, beatdowns were really, really inexpensive. They were like $5,000, like the first couple episodes. That, of course, was 15 years ago, and everyone was working for free. Which, you know, you can only ask people to do stuff for free so many times, and everyone's got a family, everyone's got to work. So you got to pay everyone, but still everyone's coming in at a low rate. So it's really wonderful, and it's quite a blessing to be able to put these amazing videos together. I mean, how many videos exist like Batman Vader, you know, on the internet? So it's all really cool, and we're happy to do it because we're all fans. The text message between Jason, you and John.
All right. Now give me a second. The screen is cutting it off for some strange reason. Where it says he confirms about 1.5. He confirms 1.5.
Young Bosch, that were leaks saying you wanted half. The audio, I know there was audio out there saying that I wanted half. The only thing I can say about that is there's definitely, like, a lot of that's out of context, because when the budget was a lot smaller, I was saying, you know, we would definitely need half.
Hey, you see? Hey, when the budget is a lot smaller, we need half. You need what? We need half, motherfucker. I ain't stuttering. I said we need half. 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 Half.
Basically.
Here we go. We're running it back.
The audio, I know there was audio out there saying that I wanted half. The only thing I can say about that is there's definitely, like, a lot of that's out of context, because when the budget was a lot smaller, I was saying, you know, we would definitely need half.
When the budget is smaller, we would need half. So which gives credence to the audio where JDF was like, yo, if I make 250,000, if we get 500,000, he wants 250,000. He's going to say it right here.
No, it's not. Well, dude, $2 million to direct a $4 million movie. I can't raise $4 million and pay you $2 million. What the is that? That's dumb. You know what I mean? Like, if I got 500, he wants at 500,000, even a $500,000 budget, he wants 250.
See? He literally just confirmed the audio right there. Hey, with a smaller budget, I want a half. And you like, he said it was out of context. I'm like, no, it's not out of context. You got full context there. But as you go back and forth and you compare the audio, you're like, wait, no, he didn't just say with a smaller budget, we want a half.
Like, a lot of that's out of context. Half. The audio, I know there was audio out there saying that I wanted half. The only thing I can say about that is there's definitely, like, a lot of that's out of context, because when the budget was a lot smaller, I was saying, you know, we would definitely need half. Basically, because we're a post-production house, so it's covering, like I said, editing, sound design, sound mixing, visual effects. You know, just gotta cover the whole post-production, and it's a lot of work to, you know, work on a film. Like, if you're gonna work, like, let's say you shoot a project that's like 20 days, right? Then you're gonna be working on that film for like a year. It's like a year's worth of work.
Oh, this is him quoting the text that leaked. Where notice how he said the 20 days. If you're gonna film for 20 days, it's 1 year's of work. And earlier he said if you film for 4 days, it's 6 months of work. So his numbers, his math just ain't mathing.
Mixing, visual effects, just gotta cover the whole post-production. And it's a lot of work to, work on a film. Like if you're gonna work, like let's say you shoot a project that's like 20 days, right? Then you're gonna be working on that film for like a year. It's like a year's worth of work.
He quoted it word for word, 20 days, year's worth of work.
So that means that we're not able to work on anything else. So it's like, we all have families and stuff to take care of. So it's kind of tricky, but I can see how some people out of context get like freaked out where they're just like, oh my gosh, you want like all the money and everything for the, you want the budget for the movie. But really that's pretty standard though for like post-production work and stuff.
Bro, the budget is not half for post-production. And what is the percentage for the director? Because I saw like, in Lord of the Rings, he was making like less than 10% of the budget for a 300 million. It cost him 280 million for the trilogy, and he was making like 9 million a film.
Especially when the budget is like smaller and you're really trying to do something kind of crazy, like attempt to do a feature film for like $500,000 or whatever. But I don't know if that answers your question. Maybe it does. But the interesting thing about all that though is because people kind of freak out and they jump to a lot of conclusions. But after the first Kickstarter ended, because we that one didn't work, it failed. Jason was really kind of he felt very defeated by that, and he wanted to do another project to keep the momentum going with Johnny. And they were going to do this really cool kind of like low budget indie, like shoot 'em up kind of film. That one also fell apart too. But, he basically, him and me kind of got into like a little bit of a back and forth, like about where things went wrong and like whose fault was it and stuff like that. But it wasn't anything that crazy big a deal. We were close, really great friends. People take things out of context and don't understand that. Jason came back later though, and he apologized.
Jason came back later and apologized. He's going to say he has the audio. Like, dog, release the audio.
For everything, saying that it was his doings, not mine. When quoting and going over the budgets and trying to plan it out. And what's funny is that the budget ended up costing that much anyways. And more for what we envisioned, what we wanted to do. But me and Jason were super close. And
bro, he keeps trying to do this. We were super close. We were really good friends. I was just like, man, no one is saying that, but he interprets people questioning what's going on with Legend of the White Dragon as attacking his friendship with Jason.
Someone was in his ear, kind of like, rooting for the Kickstarter to fail and
Dinesh.
Kind of always kind of prodding at him. And Jason kind of, like I said, that person kind of got in his ear a little bit, but
I know, right? Funny thing is Johnny's project actually released. Guess he's just better at color correcting. Yeah, that's true. The sci-fi movie came out.
But afterwards, Jason, he came back and was very apologetic and it's not that big a deal. I mean, people think certain things and then you go away and you come back together. That's what friends are. And then, we ended up working together the last really, really close. I mean, me and Jason were always close. I mean, we worked together.
Oh, John, for facts. He says, I got audio JDF saying I'm the real John Williams. Can't show it to anyone else. Yeah. Aaron said he has the audio. I don't think he does. I think he's just saying it because all these audio recordings are coming out and they're instantly getting validated. Where he's like, oh, I got audio, but I don't know if I'll ever release it. I'm like, bro, you wanted that Kyle Higgins audio out there quick, fast. You wanted that Draken audio out there quick, fast. You mean you got audio of JDF apologizing to you, saying it was all his fault that the Kickstarter failed and all this other good stuff. And you're like, oh, I'm not going to release that. I'm calling cap.
Stop the cap.
Every year of our friendship. But the last couple of years we were really close, really, really close. And if you're wondering, I have all this in audio, which maybe one day I'll share. But, you know, like I said, hearing things out of context and not understanding things is, especially if you're looking to hate or be like all that kind of stuff, you know, don't do that. Don't look for that. You know, it's not healthy. Hopefully that answers your question. I don't know if it did. Is there any chance of a Legend of the White Dragon universe expanding and leading to a sequel or spinoffs? You know, we'd love to do it. We'll see what you guys think. If you guys love it and there's a way to do it, I'd love to do a comic book. That way we could further Eric Reed's story, because that's like the central focus of it.
The plan was always to do a comic, man. Like, stop the cap. It was always to do a comic. Insiders already told me that. Hey, Aaron, what happens to the money if the Kickstarter fails? Do fans get the money back? Also, would it be JDF's fault when there is no budget? Well, Blake, if they don't hit the Kickstarter goal, the money does go back to the fans. So when they set, it's not like Indiegogo where you could set a flex go or independent go, and next thing you know, you hit it and the movie don't come out. Oh, well, people donate, they lost. So they will get the money back. And shout out to Jamal Breezy, who says, the truth is, I want you to resist. I'm not here to save you. I'm not here to spread the greatness of the Viltrum Empire. I'm here because I enjoy this. Yo, no, he didn't drop a conquest line in the super chat, man. Salute to you, man. Thank you. And the Oxy, your part is coming up because you actually come up in this. So if you stick around for probably like 5 minutes, you'll hear it. Maybe if we make enough videos on Aaron, he'll release the audio. Nah, I don't think he can release audio he doesn't have. It's easy to say, oh, I got audio of JDF saying it was his fault and not showing anybody, because who's going to go correct them? Who's going to be like, hey, where's that audio? The fans ain't like that. But thank you, Deoxy, for the super chat.
The film. But I would love to do a sequel. It just doesn't feel quite right without Jason here. But it also is a way like to help. If it earns enough money, you know, we can get money to, we'll pay Chris back, because that's the first thing we have to do. And then money goes to Jason's estate, which would be great, because I'd love to see Jenna and Tammy. You know, like basically that would be posthumously Jason helping them, which would be great.
What is your cut, Aaron? Let's just say Chris J gets all his money back. What are the percentage splits like? Because you're co-creator, co-writer, director. What are the splits like for the Frank family? That's something I would love to see. Hey, how much does Chris J get? Obviously gets back the millions of dollars he gave to Aaron to buy that new house. But what does the family get?
How much longer till it's released? I don't have that specific date, but it's probably right at the end of the summer, beginning of fall. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up here, guys. I apologize. I really hope you can sign my hoodie. That'd be awesome. Oh, I really hope so too. I hope so too. I will sign it.
I think this is the Deoxy part coming up.
Do I direct all the Bat in the Sun stuff? Yes, I direct all of it. 100% of it. I should do Batman vs. Kato. That would be cool. I would love to do Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee would be so cool to do. Hey Aaron, hope your night is going well. Just wanted to say you are blessed and continue to entertain us all with your projects, and I can't wait for Legend of the White Dragon to be released. Thank you so much, Dragonstorm. I can't wait for you to watch the film, and I hope it really resonates and you really enjoy it. That's what we all want. We want the art to affect you. Mista says, hey Aaron, what's going on? Am I Team Chuck Norris or Team Bruce Lee? You know what? I might be Team Chuck Norris. Jason talks so highly of Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is just a bigger guy. You have to understand, in fighting, if you're both equally skilled, weight classes. JDF was one of my heroes. Oh, hey, all of us, right? Do I accept DMs? Yeah, message me. It sometimes gets thrown in junk, and then Jason playing Tommy Oliver as the Green Ranger. A movie of your own together, similar to Jason.
Oh, this is a good question.
I don't know what that means.
Someone asked him, hey, do you plan on making your own movie? Deoxy, your part is coming up. Please stick around for it.
Putting a movie of your own together similar to Jason. I don't know what that means.
Bro.
Do I plan on putting a movie of your own together similar to Jason? I don't know what that means. What platform will Legend what platform will it be released on? We don't know yet. We haven't approached anyone yet, but we have ideas where we'd like it to go, but we haven't approached anyone yet. So
he said we haven't approached anyone yet. Literally earlier in the movie, earlier in the video, he said, oh, we reached out to Netflix and they were excited. So this is where I'm talking about, like, bro, I'm on him. I'm listening. I'm hanging on to every word.
I don't know what that means. What platform will it be released on? We don't know yet. We haven't approached anyone yet, but we have ideas where we'd like it to go, but we haven't approached anyone yet, so we don't know. Legends of My Dragon is going to be epic, knowing that it was Jason's passion project. It's going to be great, guys. You're going to love it. And you're going to see how much passion he put into it. What was it like when Jason started doing Legends of My Dragon along with Ciara and Christy? Well, so I've never met Christy, and she was never actually on set. But Ciara was, and Ciara actually, she plays my wife in the movie, so I'm very, very close with Ciara. Her and me are good friends, and she's a wonderful person, a very strong individual, and a great actress. Deoxy says, Legend of the White Dragon.
Hear your part go, Deoxy.
Her and me are good friends, and she's a wonderful person, a very strong individual, and a great actress. Deoxy says Legend of the White Dragon is banned from all streaming services. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. That it's banned. I don't know what that means. I
don't know what that means. I think the word people said they should have said was rejected from all streaming services, but he's about to triple down on him never reaching out. Even though earlier in the video he said, oh yeah, we had talks with Hulu and Netflix and they were excited.
I know we haven't officially approached any of them, so I don't know what banned means. That it's banned. Dragon is banned. Are good friends, and she's a wonderful person, a very strong individual, and a great actress. Deoxy says Legend of the White Dragon is banned from all streaming services. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. That it's banned. I don't know what that means. I know we haven't officially approached any of them, so I don't know what banned means. Maybe you could elaborate and I could help answer that some more. Aaron, no hate, just looking for answers. Sure, ask whatever you want. I'm happy to answer anything. I'm very transparent. I always tell anyone, if you have questions, just reach out to me. The funny thing is like there's a lot of these online conspiracy theory people or speculative haters, and they don't reach out. They don't ask me any questions. I'm happy to go on anyone's podcast and talk to them. I'm very open.
Yo, anyone who gets Aaron on the podcast, make him listen to the audio and make him go through the messages between him, Jason, and Johnny Young Bosch. If he's not willing to do that, then that would tell me everything I need to know. That's it. Hey, if he comes on your platform, hey, we got to listen to this 20 minutes of audio or we got to go through this 6 minutes of text messages. That's it. Hey, either or. And then we could talk about whatever you want, but you're going to have to sit through this shit.
I think transparency is key. But no one asked me any questions. That's why I hop on here to kind of talk with you guys. Are you guys looking for more actors for the new Batman movie coming up? Don't really care about the pay.
Yes, me and Deoxy are speculative haters. Oh, snap. Hold on. Let's keep going.
We might need some extras. We might need some extras on set, like running from the destruction, which could be kind of cool. I'm not sure I missed this, but could we expect new Superpower Beatdown episodes? Yes, they will be out later this year. We're going to be running a Kickstarter for them. We have 5 planned, and goals of 50,000 with stretch goals being up to 200,000, and a lot of cool stuff. A lot of really cool stuff. So hopefully you guys can contribute, but if not, then just watch it. They'll be free on YouTube.
But Peter Jackson's a real director. Aaron is just a hack, according to Dinesh. So
but we definitely need the finances to make them because they're huge projects. Creating content isn't easy, that's for sure. How do you feel with Bit's success initially? We're just artists who want to create really cool stuff. People ask me all the time, how did we grow such a large fan base? How did we get such a big following and viewership? And I just say, lead with passion and, try to, it's tricky. I would say don't think about the money. But obviously, at the same time, to build all these outfits and everything, it's very expensive.
Don't think about the money.
maybe you're just eating macaroni.
That is rich considering, Jason said this about Aaron.
Originally, I wanted to do 250,000, but Aaron wanted more. Greed.
And eggs every day, and then put your best foot forward. But a really big thing is surround yourself with people that have the same mindset and that are very passionate and very positive. I'm always a big preacher of positivity because negativity can weigh you down so much and just stop you dead in your tracks. And that's why a lot of people that are negative just don't really do anything with their life. And that's just not healthy. That's just not good mental.
He sneak dissing me. Yo, I swear if I had a nickel for every sneak diss, first he always considered me negative. So apparently I am not doing nothing with my life, guys.
Health, which is something that Jason really, prided himself on, that he was trying to always overcome. Jason did a lot of self-talk, and that was something he tried a lot to overcome. Let's make some White Dragon comics. Heck yeah, I reached out to a couple different artists, and we are trying to figure that out. Happy Star Wars Day.
The plan was always to make Legend of the White Dragon comics, guys. Always.
Yes. Happy Star Wars Day. You guys have an idea for White Dragon sequel? Oh, I love that you guys are already thinking about the sequel for the movie. It's going to be great. It's really cool what we have planned because me and Jason wrote it as having a sequel. What I meant was, do you want to make a movie similar to Jason, but in your own way? Similar to Jason. I don't know. I don't even know what that means.
Bro, what the fuck you don't mean you don't know what similar means? Like, he be killing you. I don't know what that means. Do you want to make a movie or not, bro? Do you want to make a movie? I don't know what similar means. Like, bro, is he...
What I meant was, do you want to make a movie similar to Jason, but in your own way? Similar to Jason. I don't know. I don't even know what that means. I apologize. I should know. I love having some of their Batman ideas out here. This is pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. Would you attend a convention if you were invited? I would. It depends. If they fly me out there and stuff, I would. Hey,
if you ain't flying there or not, he ain't coming.
It has to be very, I want to meet all you guys, and that's wonderful. But also understand that I help take care of my grandma, and so it has to be really beneficial for me to go there, because it's just tough for me to be far away from her. But I would love to. I love meeting the fans, though. For a sequel, I should have Jenna or Sky.
For a sequel, it was like you should have Jenna or Sky. Oh my God. Jesus.
I'm actually in a homeless shelter right now, trying to get a
far away from her. But I would love to. I love meeting the fans, though. For a sequel, I should have Jenna or Sky. Jenna, I don't want to. There are things. I reached out to you.
There are things, and that was it. There are things like, hey, Jenna, are you in the sequel? Is the movie set up for you to be in the sequel?
Emails and DM, never got any answer. Been reaching out for months. You gave me your email. Yeah, I didn't see your email. I apologize. Reach out on the DMs.
He just said I've been sending DMs. He's like, yo, I reached out with emails and DMs and I ain't got no answer. He's like, oh, reach out in the DMs.
DM, never got. Jenna, I don't want to. There are things. I reached out to you. Emails and DM, never got any answer. Been reaching out for months. You gave me your email. Yeah, I didn't see your email. I apologize. Reach out on the DMs. Juice box. See, I remember that juice box. Let me see if I can search you. God, let me take a screenshot of this real quick. Hold on. Because I will forget. Okay, so I took a screenshot. I look back on the juice box. I'm gonna try to reach out to you because if I reach out to you, then it kind of pulls it and finds it in the junk folder. So I'll try to message you. But you can ask your questions right here. I'm happy to answer them. I'm be on it for 5 minutes, then I gotta go.
Remember, he said 20 minutes, and he ended up going live for like 44 or something.
Love to see Jenna in a new Ranger series. Yeah, that'd be awesome. If you all decide to do a sequel, it'd be cool to have Jenna take over. Those were kind of the plans. I don't want to get too much into it, spoilers.
Those were the exact plans. It was supposed to be JDF, Serena, and Jenna. As a father, you definitely want to leave something behind for your kid, especially a career or even a franchise. So if we watch this movie and we see no sequel, no direct connection to Jenna being in the sequel, then I can only imagine he changed it.
Some stuff, but I talk with Jenna all the time. Jenna's wonderful, and I see her. She has to come over to the new place next week. I will DM you tomorrow about the extras. Cool, please do that. All right, guys. How do we reach out to be an extra? Instagram. And, yeah, I guess so. I haven't really thought that far down the road yet.
How to be I guess for a beatdown, I guess. We got 2
Aaron,
minutes
I'd like
left.
to see you do a movie project of your own. I mean, we have a lot of different stuff, a lot of different ideas, you know, so, a sequel to Power Rangers Legacy would be awesome. Well, Jason would be the star of that, and we can't do that, sadly. I wish we could, though. Ms. How did Jason come up with Legend of the White Dragon? We came up with it together, actually. I went over to his house, and we came up with it together. So he already had some ideas. He had a story called The Aftermath, and then I had some ideas. And I can show you some of the original artwork for the Legend of the White Dragon, and we put them together. You know, like the design of the suit, the fact that his character would be named after his brother Eric. You know, these are all things I brought to the table, and we just really kind of came up with it together, which is very cool. So I can't wait for you guys to see it. We kind of want to release a book that shows how it all kind of fell together. What were some pointers you gave Jason as director or going into White Dragon? You know, it's really cool because I directed Jason so many times, and he really trusted me, and he looked to me for advice, you know, about getting into it and being real and being vulnerable. That's tricky because Jason, he struggled with being vulnerable, but he so desperately wanted to be vulnerable. That was like, you know, and that's why he did the poetry and stuff. And it's about creating that safe environment. Really, on the flip side of that, something I really loved is when he was showing me actually some sword katas. And then
Aaron made Chris look like a jerk. Like he wants money before the Frank family gets anything. Throw your producer under the bus. Chris, thanks, man. Well, here's the thing, man. Chris gave him millions of dollars for Legend of the White Dragon as an investor. So when you're an investor, you like, hey, I get my money out first. Last money in, first money out, because he's taking a risk. I mean, unfortunately, he bet on Aaron, so that money is good as gone. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But yeah, man, I can see how you can interpret it that way. Like, hey, yeah, he threw Chris under the bus. Like, hey, look, man, this is business. It's business for Chris. It may be a little bit of passion, but this is business. Hopefully, there's some paperwork involved. Like, well, look, I got to get made whole again, and then we can pay out the Frank family or whatever percentage you got. Because I imagine if you donate millions, you're going to own a piece of it. You're going to own a percentage of the movie.
Because the roles were reversed and he was kind of directing me, and that was one of the most special moments and
not just the movie, but the IP. The IP
highlights on White Dragon for me. Yes, the White Dragon film is definitely still happening. It'll be out later this year. All right, I've caught up, guys. I'm gonna get going here, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully that answers some questions. Peace and love to all of you. Stay positive and appreciate your patience. The film's coming out, and I can't wait for that to come out. And then the beatdowns to be back out, and we got another project that we're working on that we've been working on for a long time. It's a big project, so I can't wait for you to see that project. That one.
How you been working on it for a long time when you just said in the last 5 years you only worked on Legend of the White Dragon? I'm telling you, man, I'm smelling some bullshit.
I won't see the light of day for a little bit, but it's coming along. It's really, really good.
So there you have it, guys. Aaron from Bat in the Sun. With a half response. I don't know, maybe this, maybe that. And Deoxy's video on him is doing really good. Go check out Deoxy's content, but he didn't address probably the deadline article saying it was supposed to be a theatrical release in 25 markets this fall, but that went nowhere. He said they spoke to Netflix and they got a positive response, and then he said he didn't get one. Keep in mind, these are Aaron text messages where he said, hey, Kickstarter goes $500K for 30 minutes, 1 meal for an hour, 2 meal for a feature, so on and so forth. Yes, the beatdowns of yesteryear were 4K. And he's always talking about people screwing him over, stealing his ideas, along with him trying to justify half the money with his whole, actors are 20 days on set. Him and his dad is 365. The more money we raise, the bigger the project, the more work, the more pay. I think we all know what this means.
Originally, I wanted to do 250,000, but Aaron wanted more. Greed, greed, greed.
That's gonna be a soundbite. And here is his swagged out house. As you can see, I'm saying got that nice swanky pool in the back. Living like a king. Shout out to Chris J for giving him the money for his house. Via Legend of the White Dragon budget. And all that good stuff. So, guys, let me know what you thought of his response in the comment section. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.